to start off with. Well, what about that? It's 8 o'clock. I haven't had any Google gremlins today. I'm absolutely delighted. My guest is in Edinburgh. We've had no interference at all. Bruce Percy from Edinburgh, welcome to my show.
Well, hi.
I sent an email to Bruce, I don't know how long ago it was, and he said, sorry, can't make it, very, very busy, which is totally understandable. And out of the blue, he sent me through an email and said, is that offer still open? Of course it is, because I want to speak to Bruce Percy, who I understand you won't get on his workshop for about the next year and a half. He's that booked up, and that is an amazing feat in this day and age. So congratulations to that, Bruce.
Well, thanks so much.
I followed your work for a very, very long time in your podcast. We're going to come to that later on because, like a lot of my guests recently, I've found there seems to be this musical background which seems to start people off on a photography road. So let's go right back to when music really grabbed you, so to speak. Tell us about your musical background and how eventually you got into photography, Bruce.
All right. Well, basically, from the age of, since I can remember, I was a creative arty person of some degree, and whether it was drawing or painting at school and things. And when I got to about the age of 12, the hormones kicked in, and I remember watching, I think it was Gary Newman on the television, and that was it. I was just hooked on it. And I had two very inspiring music teachers that were really very encouraging, and they tried to encourage, they could see that I had something, and they wanted me to work with this for a while, but I wasn't interested in learning an instrument of such, so they just let me use the music department in a creative way while I was at high school. And so basically music composition started for me about the age of 12, and I got to the point about the age of 33 where I just hit a brick wall with it. I'd spent all my spare time and free time building a very elaborate recording studio at home. I had some seriously expensive equipment. I'd actually worked in a recording studio for a while. I'd used to do a lot of professional mixing and production stuff. And all that happened was that I just got to the point where I just hit a massive wall with it. I've been working with a friend of mine since about the age of 24 till about 27, 28, working on an album. And he was a member of a band called the Indian Givers, which is it was a band that was signed to Virgin Records at the time, and it was a miniature part of the Scottish music scene at the time. And we got offered some publishing deals and things like that, and it never really sort of came to anything. And I think after that, I just it was burnout, and I just decided, right, that's it. I've had enough of sitting in the house and going out and not doing anything. So I decided, well, I'm going to go traveling, and I'd always wanted to go to Australia. I'd always felt an affinity for that landscape. And ironically, there's no actual pictures of Australia on my website, and yet really I got a whole collection of them at home that were really the catalyst for me getting into photography in a big way. I should also note that what happened was during the time when I was writing and creating music at home in a very elaborate recording studio that I had, friends of mine would come around to hear the songs I was working on, and they would also say to their friends, have you seen his photographs? And I'd never ever made the connection at all. And I came home from Australia. I'd been away for just over a month traveling, and I had the bug really big for it. And that was it. It was like I'd found a new creative avenue. And I'm very much of the opinion these days that you've got to be careful about that creativity and be kind to it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to make sure that you don't push it too far, you don't push it too much. I'm always quite curious when people tell me about how they're striving with their work, or that they have to strive or struggle with it, and I think that sounds like they're going against it the wrong way. You've got to just let it flow in some way, and if it's not working, just leave it alone and just wait for that moment when you're going to get the inspiration, when it's going to come back for you. So these days, I'm very much of the opinion that I'm trying to be very careful with my photography, that I don't reach that burnout that I got with my photography. Basically, really where I started with photography.
So when you've, are you there? I think we may have just lost a little link here at the moment. Just stay with us. This has a tendency to happen on Google Plus from time to time. So I think the best thing to do is just stick around. I've had a couple of questions actually being sent through to me through some links, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a chance to ask these questions later on. I've already prepped Bruce on that on that question. So let's see if he's around. This obviously we just lost the link here by the looks of things. Amazing. Google Gremlins strike me again. Amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and call him back. And hopefully we'll be able to get him back online. Well, it's certainly not my end because I've got a great signal going out at the moment. Oh dear. So what I'm going to try and do here, folks, is I'm going to send Bruce a quick email. Seems that he's lost contact with us completely now. And see if I can get him back online. This has never actually happened to me before. This is quite amazing. Basically, usually I drop off the link because of the of a bad link, and that I'm just able to just rejoin my guests. But unfortunately, we seem to have had a total breakdown here in communication. So just getting my iPhone out here to see if I can get Bruce back on, which is a bit awkward to do. Sorry about this, folks. This is amazing. This has never, ever happened to me before. I'm going to blame the Google Gremlins in Scotland for this. What I was about to, in actual fact, ask Bruce was about, as he's gone to Australia, what was the cameras that he bought, and we were going to talk about his gear as my normal show. But at the moment, as you can see, I've lost Bruce entirely. So let's see if I can send him a message on my homepage. Because I don't want to lose the link now. Send him another invitation. Failing that, I'll call him on the phone. There's one thing I'm not going to do is interview him over the phone. There's no point. Yes, it is, Bruce. Oh dear. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So what I'll do is I'll stop the broadcast, and then we'll talk, and then see if we can restart it at a later time. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Don't worry. Gone completely dead. Okay. Let me cancel this. Let me. Well, got some viewers, so I'll just explain exactly what's happened, and then we'll reschedule. I'll give you. Don't worry. I'll call you straight back. Cheers, then. Bye bye. Okay, I've got an answer for you. Basically, what's happened with Bruce is that he's had a system failure. His router has gone down, basically. So at the end of the day, he cannot get online at all for any internet connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the broadcast, have a chat with Bruce, and then I'll have to reschedule the show for another time. So keep a lookout for the post. I do apologize for this. It's he has had some problems locally recently with regards to his internet connection. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get it sorted out, and we'll be able to reschedule the show later on. I doubt if we'll be able to doing it today, but we'll try and make it either tomorrow or early part of next week. And I'll keep you posted. So I do apologize for the viewers that are online. I've still got your question, Hugh. Don't worry about that. I've got that to tag here, and we will be asking that question when the time comes. So I do apologize, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Oh, by the way, if you're going out at the end of this weekend to do some photography, leave your camera bag at home. Bye for now.